even beyond all the good work you're doing in the pass rush, obviously your deflection, which prevented a touchdown, was a huge play in the game Sunday. Is that something you've always been good at? I know Agba has been great at that over his career. Have you gotten tips from anyone on the team? Has it been emphasized to you by coaches, or is that something you've always been cognizant of and good at?
I mean, having guys like Calais and E and Zach on the D line with those long arms and everything, every time somebody throws the ball, they're always putting their hands up, and most of the time they get it down. So, especially in the red zone and the goal line, I knew we had to put our hands up because the ball was coming out quick. So I just didn't move and then put my hand up, and I tipped the ball, and I didn't realize it till I got on the sideline. So.
Thanks.
Joe?
Hey, Chop, Merry Christmas Eve day. Thanks for joining us. You need 3 sacks in the final 2 games to surpass Jalen Phillips' record for rookie sacks. Have you warned him that you are coming for his record?
No, I didn't even know about the record. I don't really focus on that. For me, it's just taking it one day at a time, one game at a time.
Okay. And I looked up a cool statistic. It says that you're tied with Micah Parsons for pass rush win rate. Do you feel like you are meeting your expectations in terms of pass rush win rate?
And again, like I said, I don't really pay attention to it. I just go out there and do my job, do what I can do to help the team out for a win.
Last one, 11, 53, and 56 all did the chop with you. And they were on the sideline. And some guys who I couldn't identify, they were in sweatshirts. What was that like to have those guys participating even though they were on the sideline?
I mean, it felt good. Just I made the play right by the sideline. So instead of going to the end zone or anything like that, I was like, we might as well just do it all together. So I ran towards the sideline a little bit and then we all hit it. And it felt good.
Thanks, Shot. Merry Christmas.
Travis?
Hey, Chop. Going back to kind of Barry's question about getting your hands on a football, it seems like most times when we ask, Anthony Weaver or your teammates or different defensive coaches, where Chop has come along the most, talk about your hand usage. I'm curious if you could describe the progression of the way you use your hands as a rusher from the start of your rookie year to now, and maybe if there's a coach that has kind of helped you come along in that way too.
Yeah, I mean, just coming in here, especially what I was doing in college, is beating guys with speed. And then coming in here my rookie season, and guys setting me different. I'm getting different pass sets. Guys are grabbing me more, punching different. So I just had to learn from that from the first games when I started coming in. And then once I picked up on it, I was able to basically like learn from it and use it against them instead of just trying to use what I had to use. I had to use what they had against me, against them basically. And I would say Coach Crow, just watching film with him all the time, all the vets in my room, and just working out the practice and just trusting the process.
Thank you.
Chris?
Hey, what's up, Chop? Hey, I'm doing something on cool moments that you've had in your rookie season. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think you told me that Tristan Wirfs in training camp, like you had a cool moment with him or it was cool going against him. And I think you said Aaron Rodgers might have said something to you. Or can you tell me about those moments? And what have there been other moments, other guys who have said stuff to you or acknowledged you?
I mean, those are 2 guys that are good at their position. You got a guy who's been in the league for a very long time at a quarterback that I've been watching since I was a kid. So just talking to those guys that I've been watching since I was a kid is a blessing. And I would say my next coolest moment was the chop celebration that I hit on the sideline last game.
Okay. And what do you when things like that happen, do you on the drive home, do you go, man, it's great to be in the NFL? Do those things stick with you, or I guess they have to, right? It's hard to just kind of dismiss stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, they stick with me. I just thank God I'm just blessed to be in this position.
First of all, just how are you doing after you came away with those knee and quad ailments last game?
I'm doing good. Nothing serious, so I'm good.
Okay, good. What has this first season as a whole been like for you in Miami? The numbers you're putting up and just getting to play in this Anthony Weaver defense.
It's been good, man. Going through some adversity early in the season as a team, that can always be difficult. But I feel like during the course of the season, it's been a great first year, just getting to play with some of the guys I get to play with, and then playing in the system scheme under Coach Weaver. He's been great for us all year. And so, I've been blessed all year to be here.
Thank you.
Chris?
Hey, what's up, Jordyn?
What's going on?
Hey, I'm checking with you on the playoff possibilities. Do you follow the playoff possibilities? Do you know what you guys have to do, or do you just show up one day, every day and work rather?
Yeah, for me, it's a mixture of both. I got to see where we at, and to keep the belief alive, and keep the belief going. Like I told the guys before the game last week, if they say if it's 0.1% chance, then we fight for that chance, because nobody knows what can happen. Everybody else outside would be like, oh, they got no chance, but you don't know who's going to win that game or who's going to lose that game and how it's going to shape up. And so I think as a football player, you got to think that way. I think as a man in general, you got to think that way in life, having faith in anything that you do. And so for me, that's how I approach it. And I try to, that the rest of my teammates know that's how we got to approach each week. Like, we still alive. And so come to work each day, preparing and expecting to make the playoffs and see how it all falls out.
Yep. Okay. All right. Appreciate you, Jordyn.
Joe?
Hey, Jordan, Merry Christmas Eve, and thanks for joining us today. I'm a fan of the Chop Robinson celebration. Where does that rank for you? Do you have some other favorite all-time celebrations with teammates or just as an NFL fan?
Yeah, Chop, I think earlier in the year, he was at a team dinner and Chop was kind of getting frustrated. He wasn't getting any sacks yet. And I remember talking to him. I was like, hey, man, you just got to get your celebration ready. And he was telling me, he's like, man, I got one. I got one on my sleeve. And then the very next week, he ended up getting his first sack, and he's held on to it, and it's become a thing. So I love his celebration. I don't know where he got it from, but it fits him, fits the name. It's been great. Another one that I like is all times like Ray Lewis coming out the tunnel. That celebration is like iconic. So, but Chop's definitely up there for sure.
Thanks, Jordan.
Isaiah?
Morning, Jordan. Appreciate you for coming out. Just to follow up on Chop, just talk to me about his development and his growth from the early days of preseason to now.
I think just getting more comfortable with, I guess, just being in this system, being around the vets, the coaches, everything. Just being a rookie is hard. Just go out there and start balling right away. Some do it, some don't. And so for him, I don't think it took him too long at all. It was right on time for him to get going for us and for himself. And I think the sky's the limit for him to keep going and playing at a high level.
Appreciate you.
Travis?
Hey, Jordan, what's up, man? Merry Christmas. I wanted to ask you, now that you had a chance to basically have almost a full season under Coach Anthony Weaver, I've enjoyed watching his defense, but I'm curious to hear from one of the captains in the middle, one of the leaders in the middle. How would you describe Coach Weaver's first year here coordinating this defense?
I think it's been outstanding. You guys get a chance to talk to him. You ask him questions, and you kind of can get a feel for his demeanor and his personality. I think that's the way you got to be to coach men in this league. I think he's just a good mix of laugh and play with you and being dead serious with you at the same time. And I think he's got the respect that all the guys in the locker room makes you want to play hard for him. And I think that's why, as a defense, we've had the success that we've had, and we can be even better, But I feel that he's done a great job coming in here his first year, bringing in a great system and coaching it up the right ways with it, his assistant coaches and all that. And really just earning the respect from everybody, holding every man accountable. And that's the type of things that I love about a coach. And so I've got nothing good things to say about Coach Weaver.
Thank you, Jordan.
David?
Hey, Jordan, wanted to ask you one more on the other side of the ball. What you think the offensive line gets out of Isaiah Wynn when he's in the lineup? If you've gone up against the first team line in practice or just watched what you think he provides as a blocker.
I think he's great. You know, we get a chance to go against him in practice as he's been ramping up, you know, getting back from injury. I think he gives us a boost, man. Just, you know, his experience in the game, and obviously his God-given ability. And so I'm excited for him to keep going and help us improve as an offensive line. And sky's the limit for him as well.
We have one final question, Jordan, from Barry.
Hi, Jordan. Who's the first couple names that come to mind if I ask you what defensive teammate that you didn't know a lot about coming into the season, your first year here, that you've gained an extra appreciation and respect for about how good they are, how they work, something about them? I'm sure a lot of guys would fall into this category, but first couple names that come to mind, I'd be curious.
The obvious one would probably be Zach. I didn't know much about Zach at all. Even when I first met him, I didn't know who he was. But just being around him each and every day, our lockers being right by each other, you know, really getting to know him outside of football, you know, it's no accident to why the successes that he's having right now. And so he was definitely a guy that I wasn't thinking about coming in, but definitely, you know, earned a lot of respect for just by the way he plays, by the way he works, his approach to the game. And yeah, that it definitely be Zach.
Tua spoke a little bit about all the routes on air and the time you guys putting together as quarterback and receiver as far as getting the timing of this offense down. I'm curious from your perspective, if you could describe how that's been for you going way back to when you got drafted up until week 17 here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's huge. It's really important for one, especially us guys that are coming in, our development with Tua and getting on the same page. Just talking to some of the things like whether the timing's off or you know, maybe he needs us to turn our head a little bit faster or run through this or something like that. So I think it's been huge for us, especially with the guys that are, you know, just got here.
If it's like a play that he doesn't like or isn't satisfied with, does he usually pull you aside and be like, I need this, this, and this from you? Or how do those conversations start?
Yeah, I mean, just about every time if something happens where he feel like maybe we were a little off or he was a little off, something happened, he'll do a good job of communicating with us and letting us know like, hey, maybe I need you to come a little bit flatter here or something like that. He'll give us a little encouragement and we'll get it fixed.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Chris?
What's up, Malik?
How we doing?
Good, man. Hey, I'm doing something on you as a tough guy because I think you're a tough guy, and I've seen you take these big hits. I saw you blocking in goal line against Green Bay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't I see you get a pancake block on Hassan Reddick from the slot? Didn't you knock him down?
I gotta think back. I've done you know, a couple, put some guys on the ground and stuff like that. I've tried my best to show up in the run game.
Exactly, exactly. So tell me, do you consider yourself a tough player? And if so, why? Give me evidence like that of why you consider yourself a tough player.
Yeah, I think, well, toughness for me is more of a mindset than anything. That's just like, you know, my style of play since I was a young player, just kind of playing through anything, being able to go out there and not see size, not see speed, not see any of that things, just play the game of football as physical as you can. And so I think for me, it's when you're in moments where maybe I'm matched up against a linebacker and I got to go make that block, or maybe I'm on the edge and I need to spring something from one of my guys. I think that shows, you know, true toughness when you're able to do the things that maybe you don't have the advantage there and you're still willing to go do it.
And do you consider yourself a good run blocker? Because I do see you making plays in the run game.
I mean, I think that was, especially coming out of college, that was one of my weaknesses, just in the blocking game. And that's just something I've honed in on this offseason. That's something I've put, you know, at the forefront because I knew that's how you make an NFL, you know, roster, especially when you're coming in, especially as a, you know, late draft pick. That's how you make an NFL roster. So trying to get better and better at those things. And I think there's been some growth, and I'm proud of the growth that's taking place.
Thanks, Malik.
Barry?
Hi, Malik. One thing I meant to ask you when a few of us spoke to you at your locker on Friday was, as the ACC's best receiver last year, guy with 110 catches, to go sixth round, 184th overall, is there something in the draft process that you heard was a concern about you from NFL teams, be it size, be it blocking, as you said? Was there one thing that has driven you this year to show people I can do this well? I should not have been a late third day pick with my resume.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of guys ended up unhappy on draft day when whether their name was called late or not called at all. I tried not to think of it that way. I tried to understand that whatever I was picked is when I was picked, and what I do from there is my response, and that's how I'm going to carry myself. So obviously would have loved to be picked earlier. That would have been great, but I wasn't. And so I've just trying to taken that and use that as kind of fuel to just keep pushing and show like others, like it doesn't matter when you're picked, it matters when you get there and what you do when you get there.
Thanks.
Isaiah?
Hey Malik, what's going on? Happy holidays to you. Just was curious about your maturity, right? Everybody says, you know, how mature you are. And even that answer that you just gave, I asked Draymond Green a question about just his draft stock, and he gave the same exact answer when he won Defensive Player of the Year. So that I say that because like you obviously have a very mature approach. And so I'm just curious, like, have you always been that way? You know, from a kid, or is this something that you just developed over time?
Yeah, I think early on, especially when I was like, first starting out, way back in high school, it was like I was too busy dwelling on like, man, things that didn't go my way and different things like that. And I've kind of shifted my mindset. I had gotten hurt in high school, and, through that, I had shifted my mindset a little bit of the process, my outlook on football, my outlook on, everything that was going on. And from there, I feel like I've kind of understood, like, man, like it might not always be your moment. Things might not always go your way. But the response that you have, who you are when things don't go your way, and how you take care of business afterwards shows your true character.
And then just a quick follow-up. You said that you got hurt in high school. What was the injury?
I tore my ACL.
Oh wow. And how long were you out for?
I missed the remainder of the season, but I played my senior season.
So I saw you got about half the reps at right guard, a 51-49 split. I saw with Liam. How did they go for you?
It went good. It definitely felt good being back out there with the team, being able to help contribute in any way, shape, or form I could.
And how did the idea of rotating come about? Have you ever been part of something like that? And do you feel now, how comfortable would you feel now maybe seeing a full game's worth of reps if called upon?
Can you go back to the first question?
How did the idea come about? Sorry, I know I asked you like three different things.
No, you good. It was discussed earlier in the week. So yeah, that was kind of the game plan that was discussed. So we just went out there and executed it. As far as how I feel coming back and all that, I mean, I feel great. So either way it goes, I'll be ready whenever my name's called.
Thanks.
Go to Isaiah. Oh, Isaiah, you're still muted.
Oh, my bad. Good morning, Isaiah. Felt kind of weird saying my name back. Happy holidays, all that stuff to you. So I just wanted to ask, I believe you had a key block on that 50-yard run. What was from Devon? I guess what did you see, and just how good as an offensive lineman does it feel when you get a key block and one of your guys just breaks off for a 50 piece?
I mean, anytime we execute our blocks the way it's supposed to be, that's a great feeling. So being able to give our backs or whoever has the ball space an opportunity, I mean, that's all they need. It's not like they need a lot because of how talented they are. But definitely it was a good feeling to seal that off on my side or wherever it was. But as a cohesive unit, everybody executed their block perfectly on that play for sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Chris?
What's up, Isaiah?
What's up with it, Chris?
Chilling. I always have something off the wall for you, so I got that. That's it now. So I'm doing something on Pro Bowl voting and top 100 voting. You guys just recently voted for Pro Bowl. I don't know if you voted for top 100, but I'm wondering the process. Do you think players are comfortable making these decisions? Like, are players aware enough of what's going on around the league? Because I know you're kind of tunnel vision. Are you comfortable in the voting process? Do you need help? How do you do it?
No, I mean, you see all the guys who perform well. Whether that's it being broadcasted on the sports stations or whether it's game film that you're watching. You know what I'm saying? Because when you break down film, you watch two teams, two different teams. So that person who you may be voting on may not be included in the team that you're game planning for, but you do get to see that person. So that's kind of how I go about it. It's what I see and what I think. So yeah.
Yeah. And do players, here's another weird question. Do players know like everybody's name? Because I know y'all know guys by number, right? Number 95, number 92. Do you know enough names, do you think, to make good Pro Bowl and top 100 votes?
Yeah, I mean that goes back to my first answer. Once you see that guy on film, you may be like, that's number 95. But now as you watch the film and you see 95 some more, you're like, oh, I gotta know who he is. So then you find out his name through there. So I guess you kind of find out the name along with the number for sure.
All right. I'll let everybody go back to their regular conventional football questions. Appreciate it, Isaiah.
Yeah, for sure.
Joe?
Hey, Isaiah, good to see you.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask you from an offensive line perspective, what have you seen from the youngster Chop Robinson? We're going to talk to him coming up here next.
Oh man, his progression has been crazy, man. Just to see where he started from when he came in, and just to see him refine and hone in on his skills. I mean, it's scary. It's scary to see, how high his ceiling is. So definitely looking forward to seeing how he progresses throughout the rest of the season, as well as following his career.
2 games left. Do you view this as an opportunity to kind of show the club that you should be re-signed next year and kind of be in the mix for a Dolphin starter?
Oh man, I kind of don't think too far ahead. You know what I'm saying? We got 2 games, so really it's just one game, and that's this week. So that's all I'm focused on. And as I mentioned before, just trying to take advantage of any opportunity that I get to step out there on the field. Not too concerned about what the future holds.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have one final question for Isaiah. We're going to go to Travis.
Hey Isaiah, what's up, man? Happy
All right,
holidays.
Travis, bring us home now.
Good to see you, man. I'll
Yeah,
try my
you
best
too.
here. I actually have a two-parter here for you. The first one is, I know you played pretty much every position across the offensive line since you got to the league, but this was the first time we saw you play at right guard in this system. I was curious how that transition was for you going from left side to right side.
It was a little bit of a transition, but only thing that changes is just the side of the line you're on. So once I kind of got back into the swing of things, it was pretty it was an easier transition once I got back in the swing of things.
And my follow-up is initial impressions of playing alongside Aaron Brewer. He is some kind of athlete. I'm curious how that helps you do your
Man.
job.
Oh man, AB is a freak athlete, man. He gets the job done. He's one of the guys who you could just ask him to do anything. I wouldn't be surprised if they asked him to go catch a ball and run a route. But that's AB, and then outside of that, he's very intellectual, very smart, very knowledgeable on the offensive line play and defense as well. So it's a joy playing next to him. He's one of the guys who you want to play next to and who you want to play for.